Red planet. What do you see on this cover? Floppy and a space buggy. Floppy is wearing spacesuit. Where is he? It looks like Floppy is on the other planet. What is gonna happen? Let's see. Will came to play with Chip. They made a rocket ship out of bits and pieces. The rocket ship looked quite good. Will and Chip played in the rocket ship. They pretended to be spacemen. The rocket is going to take off, said Will. He started to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2. Suddenly, Floppy ran up. He wanted to get in the rocket ship with Will and Chip. Go away, Floppy, said Chip. The rocket is going to take off. Nadim came to play. He was holding a keyboard. Oh, Nadim brought his computer with him, but he liked the look of the rocket ship. He wanted to play in it too. Just then, it began to rain. There's not room for all of us, said Chip. Let's go inside and play with Nadim's computer. The boys went inside the house. What were they doing? They were playing a game on the computer. The game was called Red Planet. Do you know which planet does Red Planet refer to? In real life, Red Planet refers to Mars. In the game, the boys could drive a rocket ship to a red planet. Will and Chip crashed the rocket, but Nadim did not. Nadim was good at the game. Suddenly, the magic key began to glow. Chip and Will pulled Nadim away from the computer and ran into Biff's room. Come on, called Chip. It's time for an adventure. Then the children and Floppy shrank and ran into the little house. The magic took them to a rocket ship. It took Floppy too. The rocket looked as if it was about to take off. But the door was open. Nadim wanted to look inside the rocket. Come on, he called. Chip did not want to go inside. It may not be safe, he said. Why not? Said Nadim. This is a magic adventure. If you were there, would you like to go and see inside the rocket? The children and Floppy went inside the rocket. Wow! Look at all the machines. It looks like they are in a control room. There was nobody there. Look at this computer, said Nadim. Floppy jumped up and put his paw on a button. Oh no! The button was for taking off. What was gonna happen? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The rocket began to take off. Up it went and out into space. Oh no, said Chip. I don't know where we are going. What would happen to the children? Let's see. The children began to float about inside the rocket. Why could they float in the rocket? It is because in outer space, the gravity is not as strong as on the Earth. So, there is less force pulling us down. Nadim found some boots. He put them on. We must put these boots on, he said. They will keep us down on the floor. The children went to the window and looked out. They saw a big red planet. We are going to land on that planet, said Nadim. We will soon be there. Wow, the children and Floppy are going to the Mars. Nadim made the rocket land. I would not like to do that again, he said. It's a good job Nadim knows about computers, thought Wilf. I wouldn't like to crash here. There was red dust all over the planet. There were red rocks and red mountains. Floppy did not like the look of it. He began to bark and bark. There are no trees, he thought. They wanted to go outside and look at the planet. They found a space buggy. They looked in the space buggy and found some spacesuits. Let's put these spacesuits on, said Wilf. Then we can go outside. Do you think it will be safe outside? Asked Chip. I don't know, said Wilf. They went out on the planet in the buggy. The buggy bumped over the rocks and the red dust flew up. I don't like this, thought Floppy. I am not made for space adventures. Suddenly, the ground cracked and a big hole opened up. Oh, help, said Chip, Wilf, and Nadim as the buggy fell into the hole. Oh no! The children and Floppy were in danger. They fell down and down inside the planet. I don't like this, thought Floppy. I want to go home. They all landed with a bump. The buggy landed with a crash and broke into two. Oh no! The buggy was broken. How could they go back to the rocket? Where were they? They were inside a big cave. What a place, said Wilf. Look at it. Chip looked at the buggy. It's broken, he said. It's headed. How will we get back to the rocket? Floppy began to bark. There were some creatures in the cave. They looked like funny little people. Oh, they are the aliens, the Martians. Oh no, said Nadim. Look at them. I hope they like us. Would they be friendly or hostile? The creatures looked at the boys. They climbed on the broken buggy and pulled out a spacesuit. One of them turned a tap on Floppy's spacesuit. Then Floppy's spacesuit began to fill with air. It got bigger and bigger. It was like a balloon. Then Floppy began to float. Get Floppy! Yelled Chip. Don't let him float away. Wilf asked the creatures how to get out of the cave. They told him that there was no way out. They said that they had never been outside. Then they pointed to the hole above. Wilf had a good idea. He took a spacesuit out and he filled it with air. The spacesuit got bigger and bigger. It began to float up and up. The children then got onto the inflated spacesuit. "Hold on," called Wilf, "and don't let go." The spacesuit floated up out of the cave. "We can float back to the rocket," said Chip. "What a good idea!" "I hope it won't go pop," thought Floppy. Phew! The children and Floppy floated back to the rocket. Wilf let the air out of the spacesuit, and it came down to the ground. "Good old Wilf," said Nadim. "I don't like floating," thought Floppy. They went inside the rocket, and it took off. Nadim turned on the computer and looked at the screen. What was on the screen? It was the Earth. "We will soon be home," he said. Just then, the magic key began to glow. "That's good," thought Floppy. "They won't have to land the rocket. Dogs don't like space adventures." The magic took them back home. "I like that adventure," said Will. He looked at the little spacesuit. "So did I," said Nadim. "But I'm glad I didn't have to land that rocket again." Do you like space adventures? Do you think there are aliens out in the space? And that's the end. Red Planet. The key takes Chip, Wilf, Nadim, and Floppy into the computer game.